One of the greatest pains in life is the silent comparison we make with others. We look around and wonder, why is she so successful and I'm not? But we forget one simple truth: her path isn't yours. A fish could spend its whole life trying to fly and die believing it's not good enough, even though it could swim across the endless ocean. Social media has made this pain louder. Every scroll shows perfect smiles, dream homes, flawless success. And slowly we start believing that our own life is too small. We forget our gifts, our quiet strengths. We start chasing someone else's light while letting our own fade away. If you've ever whispered, "I'll never be like them," then this story is for you. Because sometimes the lesson that changes your life is hidden in the simplest tale. In a small village surrounded by emerald forests lived a boy named Ethan. He was kind, curious, and hardworking, but he carried a heavy burden inside. He couldn't stop comparing himself with others. When his friend Liam topped every exam, Ethan thought, "I wish I were that smart." When his neighbor Ryan bought a new house, he sighed, "If only I had his luck." Even when someone ran faster, Ethan felt smaller, weaker, slower, and the more he compared, the more joy slipped through his fingers. One afternoon, a wise old man came to the village. Everyone called him Grandpa Joe. His eyes held the calm of someone who understood life deeply. Ethan approached him and said, "Grandpa, I work hard, but every time I see others doing better, I feel like I'll never be enough." Grandpa Joe smiled gently. "Come to the oldest tree at sunrise," he said. "You'll find your answer there." The next morning, the forest was bathed in golden light. Ethan found Grandpa Joe standing under a huge ancient tree. "Tell me, Ethan," the old man said, "what do you see around you?" Ethan looked. "I see tall trees, short trees, fruit trees, bare ones, all different." Grandpa Joe chuckled softly. "Now imagine," he said, "if the apple tree looked at the coconut tree and cried, 'I wish I were tall,' or the coconut tree wished for sweet apples instead of hard shells. Wouldn't that sound foolish?" Ethan laughed. "Of course, that would be silly, Grandpa." "Exactly," said Grandpa Joe, "but humans do that every day." "Look around," said Grandpa Joe. "How does this forest make you feel?" Ethan paused. "It feels peaceful, balanced, perfect." Grandpa Joe nodded. "Every tree has its own purpose. The apple gives sweetness, the coconut gives strength. Each plays its part in this harmony. If one tried to be the other, this beauty would vanish." He then led Ethan to a quiet pond. Fish glided through the water as a bird soared above. "Tell me," Grandpa asked, "if the fish wished to fly, would that make sense?" Ethan smiled. "No, Grandpa. Fish are made for swimming, birds are made for flying." Grandpa Joe placed his hand gently on Ethan's shoulder. "Then, my boy," he said, "why spend your life trying to fly in someone else's sky when the ocean is waiting for you?" That morning changed Ethan forever. He stopped comparing. He started living. He discovered that his worth didn't depend on how fast he ran, how rich he was, or how he looked next to someone else. He focused on what he loved, and little by little confidence bloomed like spring. Years passed. Ethan built a successful business and inspired many around him. When people asked, "What's your secret?" he smiled and said, "If a fish tries to fly, it will always feel like a failure. But if it swims, it can own the ocean."
Remember this, the sun and the moon never shine together. So stop comparing. Start becoming. You don't need someone else's light. You already carry your own. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Because sometimes the most beautiful journey is simply learning to love who you already are.